Hello friends, greetings. Welcome to How to VLAN channel. This is Utility VLAN. In this video, we are going to see how to expand the root file system on an RHEL9 VM with only one disk attached and it's XFS formatted. Let's get into the video. Okay, first, as usual, the objective. We're going to expand the root FS, but you need to know what was the issue that I faced. Why do you need to do the disk expansion, isn't it? So, I'm working on a pipeline, and as part of the pipeline I need to set up some Docker, and the Docker has a minimum prerequisite of 10 or 20 GB free space, and then 2 CPUs and 4 GB memory and CPU I have no problem, you can dynamically adjust, but there's disk expansion of the root FS is quite tricky. I have not done this before, so I thought why don't I do it and then I document the video so I can use it in future. I can reference back myself in the future, and it's also useful for others. What happened is I actually finished the work, but I still have the log of the work that I did, so I thought I share it, and this way it creates a documentation also. So I'll walk you through the procedure so you can follow me as much as you want, and then you can ask me your questions in the comment section, and I will look at them and then respond back to you when possible. So I really did not have much that capacity available, so my C drive was also running short of space, so that's when I resorted to this procedure. So I thought I can share what I did, and so it will be useful for others as well. Alright, now let's look into the procedure as usual. So the issue, we need to adjust the size of the default vmdk Vagrant file disk. It's not, so whenever you download any Vagrant image from the public HashiCorp website, you will get a vmdk file only because it's a OVF or OVM export, not a VDI file or VHD. So you cannot dynamically resize the disk. So first step, you need to convert the vmdk file to a VDI file. So that's the first step, and I got this reference from a Stack Overflow. I was going through the various help internet pages, and Stack Overflow provided me a guidance that first step is to actually convert the vmdk. That's a default file. So whenever you download any VirtualBox or any VM image from internet, you will get a vmdk file. So shut down your VM, first step, and then so you can use your VirtualBox to shut down your VM, and then I'm not going to shut it down now. I'm not going to show you the real execution. Like I said, I already finished it, but I'm going to walk you through the procedure, how it will look actually. Simulation sort of thing. So you'll be shutting down the VM. Go to your VirtualBox and shut it down as you normally do. So you can shut down the VM here, right click, stop. So you can choose the shutdown options. Alright. And then go to your VirtualBox exe location. In my case, it was here. So go to this location, virtual VBoxManage.exe file is important, and go to the location where your disk is present. How do I know my disk location? You go here, right, settings of your VirtualBox VM and go to storage, and if you click here, if you expand this, see, this is my new location, my VDA file, the new VDA file location, but earlier I had a vmdk file here. So you need to go to this location, okay, cd to that location, and then use this VirtualBox manage.exe and use the clonehd attribute, and this would be the name of the disk. So you see here it's a vmdk file. So here right now my name of the file is box disk 001.vda. earlier it was vmdk. Alright, so and then the target location. So I gave a new location instead of it in the same C drive. If you actually don't just give the name of the file alone, it will create it in the same location. I don't want it in the same location because I'm running short of disk space, like I said, and I'm even going to delete this file now because I validated all my functionalities are working now fine with VDA. So this way actually it will preserve your image also. The clonehd, after you shut down the VM and you take a copy of the VM file, right? It's also a backup method. in case if you're doing a tremendous change on your VM, you want to preserve your work, this is one method that you can preserve your disk. In case something goes wrong with the change that you're doing, you can revert back the system with using this VDA file. Right, clonehd. So format, we mentioned VDA. VDA, it will allow you to expand the file. So VDA. And you can see here it will start the cloning exercise based on the size of the disk. It may take some time and you will get a new UID. After this, again, you need to do you need to expand the file, right? Earlier the file was only 32 GB or whatever size you allocated. Now that's the one, it came with a OVF. So they may, whatever the builder has set up, it may be a 32 GB file or 100 GB file, and it also be dynamically allocated as well. So in my case it was 32 GB, but I already consumed 28 GB, so I didn't have much space left. So I set it up to 75 GB. So how do we do it? So again, go to the location. This is what we need now. We don't need the original disk location, but it's fine if you are there. Go to the location where the VBoxManage.exe is found, modify HD, and the file, new file name is the clone file, the target file, eVirtualBox. This is the current disk image that is attached to my VM. So you run this command and you will mention resize to 76 GB. From now on, I can dynamically resize this disk. Okay, because I'm not nowhere in vmdk, I don't need a clone anymore. So when you resize it, it will 0, 20, 30, 40, it will complete it. Again, it will not take much time. It's very fast compared to the first step, resizing is. And attach the new disk to the VirtualBox media. So this is how you do it. You go here, tools, and virtual media manager. So you can see here all the disks that you have, and all you need to do is add. Okay, so you can click on add. It will list out all the it will list out like browsing through your directories, drives, and then you will be able to find out the location where you created the new disk, right? In my case it's this E drive. So you can go to this location, navigate to this location, and you will see this disk available. Just select the disk. See, I already added it here. Okay, so select the disk and you will be able to add it here. So once the disk is added here, come back to your VM. Now your VM is still down. Imagine, remember, your VM is still down. Alright, attach the new VDA disk in place of the existing vmdk. So just right click, go to settings, storage. Now I cannot detach or attach anything, but my VM, if my VM is down, it will allow me to select it here. Startup port 0, and you can automatically, since you already added the disk to the media manager layer, it can just select the disk from the drop down option that I want to attach this VDA file. Once you attach it and you boot the VM, your VM should ideally boot from the new disk that you allocated, and you just converted the type of the disk to VDA, but the VM does not know anything about it yet. That's how the next steps come in. fdisk-l, you need to run in the machine, but your fdisk will recognize that partition size has expanded. Here you don't see any red color mark here now, but when for the first time when you run fdisk-l after you complete your disk resize and boot your VM, there will be a warning symbol showing the partition, GPT partition has changed, and it will show the new disk size is 75 GB. So here 75 GB, right? Earlier size 32 GB, now it is 75 GB. Like that warning will show. And the disk that we are trying to change is SDA3. How do I know that? So you need to run pvs lvs. You can see here the actual root file system is mounted in dev SDA3. The others are used for different purposes. This is where my VG main is created, SDA3. So dev SDA3 is my partition of concern. So you can run, you can do vgdisplay as well. Now you see everything is okay because I have free space and so on. So now I think I grew everything, so no free space either here now. But when it was 32 GB, it will not also show any capacity here. But it will be, you just need to take this values, PVS, LVS, and VG display. You know, VG main is the only VG we have, and that's allocated from devst3. See if disk change, if you run this, because you have only one disk devst allocated, you can just scroll down. You can see here resize option available. You can choose resize and it will automatically ask you for the size that you want to resize. For example, if I do a resize, it will ask me for the new size 74 GB. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to quit it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that that's how you need to do. So it will say device is currently in use, nothing will happen, but just resize and then select the right option on your right. See here you have a right option. Use the arrow keys to select it. First resize and resize, you can see here the first disk we chose though. So if you choose resize, say it's asking you what's the new size, 74 GB. I can change it to 70 GB also, but it will not allow you to downsize, because downsizing is not, it's very tricky, because you should have free space on the high water mark to downsize. If you have something occupied there, it will not allow. So resize, new size you can mention. Alright, and then you can mention, once you finish it, it will ask you to write it. Once you write it, you can quit it, which means write means save. Okay. So once you complete the cfdisk operation, you need to run through the pvs and lvs and vgdisplay. You will not see any change. It would still say 32 GB only. After that, you need to resize your physical volume. So pvresize devst3, and this is how it will look. So pvresize devst3, it will just change your physical volume size from the older numbers, 32 GB to 72 GB or so. Then you can run pvdisplay. You'll see now, earlier I didn't have free space, I told you, right? After that I got some free space. Then you need to extend your LVS you ran, right? So if you run it now, it will still show there is no capacity, but after this, if you run LV extend plus 100% of whatever is freely available, so it extends your LV, which means the logical volume VG main. Then you will see still DFF and TH did not reflect my value. And finally, if being it is XFS formatted, you see here it's XFS formatted. I run XFS grow, then it automatically resets to my total value that currently I need. So these are the commands I already noted. Finally, this is how it looks, pvdisplay. So pvdisplay now free 0 and VG main free 0 again. So this was before, I think. Yeah, this is before, and you see here after. So I do these commands. Finally 70 GB. Alright, so hope you really like this video. If you really like it, give me a thumbs up. And I could have recorded it while I did it, but I was doing another exercises within parallel, so I didn't find time at that time, but I still wanted to log this, so it's useful for someone else who is looking for the same help. Whatever possible that I showed you in the simulation, but in case you really want to record this as a video, please let me know in the comment section. I can make a video. Thanks guys, and this is for now, and thanks for subscribing to How to Learn channel. If you have not subscribed so yet, please subscribe to How to Learn channel and give me a thumbs up if you really like this video. And if you have any feedbacks, please feel free to share it in the comment section. Thanks everyone. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you. Bye.